and we need to get absolutely serious about who we give our attention to. That's one of the things they told me, is who we're giving our attention to, what we're living for. And the process of unfoldment is a very natural thing. When you give yourself over to meditation, it just naturally, it's like stepping into a current in the river, and you just leave everything else behind and get into that current. And when you come out of it, you're like cleansed. And so in a way, and the same thing with meditation, it just makes us aware of that eternal part of ourselves that everybody can prove to themselves that they have a spirit, and that it's capable of communing with the all-mind, or the Creator, or the light, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So, yeah, this is, and also about the pyramid and all this kind of thing, and what the importance of this is very interesting. I mean, they created those pyramids as a memorial to the builders where they came from, which is obviously Orion. But they also did it because of astronomical reasons. Because of 2012 is one of them. In fact, in 2012, one of the belt stars in Orion is going to line up with the King's Shaft of the Great Pyramid, and the light is going to fall through that King's Shaft into that pyramid, and it signifies the end of this era and the entering of the age of Aquarius, of that new era, and that we are actually coming into the solar field of Orion and the central sun of the universe, of our galaxy, which is going to phenomenally change and raise the vibration of our whole planet and our whole solar system. And it's actually also going to trigger a pole shift and axis shift. This is also why the pyramids were created as kind of like a time clock. Every so often, these aliens knew that whenever there was the precession of these revolutions, astronomical revolutions around the sun and around different constellations, that every so often, every few thousand years, it causes an axis shift. And the Great Pyramid was constructed by the aliens in total recognition or total awareness of this precisely, in order to warn the inhabitants of the earth about these things. And so the pyramid is kind of like a time clock for these kind of astronomical events that happen periodically on the earth.
Interesting. Wow.
That's kind of the mystery of the Great Pyramid right there, which I never knew anything about until the aliens disclosed it.
Right.
And so that's one of the main points of the...
So are you planning to head back to Pine Bush, or do you continue to have contact without having to go there? They give me... I get contact at night usually, and when I'm in meditation, or just when my head hits the pillow, all of a sudden they'll greet me, and they use telescopic. I like to call them telescopic visions. All of a sudden, I'll get a vision of seeing something, and I'll zoom in on it. In this vision, it's like a zoom on a camcorder, and I zoom in on. I'll see a certain locality or something, and I'm supposed to learn something about. And they'll teach me something about something through a vision, about a certain place or a certain object. And so they keep in contact with me. But so what does this polar shift mean for us? This is going to happen in 2012, you think? Or this is what they said?
Well, 2012 is the beginning.
Right.
The Mayan calendar. It's also written in the
the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's a date in there about I think it's what year, 9792 BC. There was a pole shift that wiped out Atlantis, and it just so happens that in 2012, I think it's 10,500 years later. In 2012, there's going to be another pole shift, and it's written in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, that date, you know, and there's going to be a certain alignment. In fact, the same alignment that was in effect in 92 BC is going to be in alignment again. It has to do with Venus and the constellation of Orion and the Sun, and that same alignment is going to come into play again. It's a little bit different this time.